I'm gonna show you God does exist. What do you say we cut the chit-chat a-hole?
So what's up, all? We're gonna cut that out. What's up, y'all? It's Hawk and Max.
Hi, everybody.
You know, we're here doing our second
podcast about Nicolaas Cage.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You talk for a moment.
Like you all know, we're both big fans of Nicolaas Cage. Skyhawk is from the US, I'm French, and we give our comments about movies. If you want more details, you can listen again to our podcast about Vampire's Kiss. And today we're gonna talk about Prisoners of the Ghostland, which is the latest movie released starring Nicolaas Cage, and it's a very interesting movie.
Yeah, I mean, it came out technically last
Yesterday?
year, or no?
No,
but, I mean,
today.
but like it was released today, but like they bought the rights. Like I think like it was shown at like some festival, maybe already last year. I don't know.
No, you're confusing with Pig.
No, I mean I think they're all being at festivals, and then somebody buys the rights at this.
Anyway,
point.
for us,
Yeah.
it was only possible to see it since yesterday, and we decided to use our free Friday evening to watch it.
Well, they don't know that, so it just came out today, and we watched it right away.
Exactly.
And yeah, so I guess we'll
start. So, yeah, the movie starts with a classic, not classic, but bank robbery in a very colorful bank.
Well, I mean, it's
in
classic.
Japan. It's classic, but it's in Japan. It's a lot of colors.
Everybody knows all bank robberies happen in Japan, and it's very colorful.
And we don't know exactly what happened, but you have this little kid handing over sweets while Nicolaas Cage and another guy called Psycho.
Yeah, they're like gumballs.
Yeah, Psycho has two guns in his two hands, and Nicolaas Cage has like a
sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, we don't know exactly what happens, and then the next shot takes us to Nicolaas Cage wearing some kind of Japanese diaper.
like it's like a sumo wrestler diaper. It's pretty funny. I mean, and you see like a lot of like ass shots of Cage in this little diaper.
But nothing sexual.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, actually, it is. Like, I feel like people were looking at him and they're pointing like, oh, and then when he took off the diaper, then like this one girl's like, I've seen better. And it's like, oh, you've seen better than like a 6-year-old dude naked? It's like, it's real good.
Yeah, and then not to forget, there's the French James Franco.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of James Francos in this movie.
Yeah.
There's French James Franco. There's like Gravedigger Japanese James Franco. I think there's just a spiritual James Franco. Just can feel him.
James Franco mannequin.
James Franco mannequin. Oh yeah, there's a lot of mannequins in this movie. Like there's like, so I guess like the whole Ghostland things comes from there was a truck with nuclear waste that crashed into like a prison truck, which created these like nuclear ghosts and also nuclear explosion. And then people need to like dress as mannequins to like protect themselves from the ghosts.
Yeah,
right?
to not become prisoners of
Yeah.
the Ghostland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. It's
I
a
mean,
little
doesn't make any
confusing.
sense. The whole movie doesn't make any sense. And so Cage is taking out of his jail where he's wearing this sumo wrestler
diaper.
And then he has to put on this suit that you see in the trailer where it's with explosive, like 2 explosive for his 2 balls, 2 explosive for his 2 arms, and 2 explosive at the level of his neck.
All the pressure points where you'd put explosives like naturally.
Yeah. And then this guy called the governor, who is a American dude being a governor in Japan, like in this very westernish Japanese village with Japanese cowboys and some samurais in kimonos.
So it's weird. So it's kind of like almost like a Japanese spaghetti western, but then it also like almost takes, well, it does take place in present time.
Post-apocalyptic.
So yeah, so it has like cars from kind of now and like kind of a little bit like cars from now and like the technology I would say it's from now, but it's like weird kind of future technology. So it's like a weird kind of like mix. And
it's kind of a Jean-Pierre Jeunet vibe.
Okay, that's the dude from Aliens. Yeah.
Or Amelie or other friends.
Oh yeah, I remember all the science shit from Amelie, dude.
No,
that was pretty great. Dude, Amelie.
But also the point of view of the colors.
No, but he does have like he definitely has like a distinct vision. But
so what happened next? The governor wants Nicolaas Cage to find his daughter, or what he calls his daughter, but he has like a lot of whores.
So guys, spoiler alert, it's not his legitimate daughter. Well, actually, no, granddaughter. I think he said granddaughter, which makes it even weirder. Like, you just speak, it's my daughter. Like, no, it's my granddaughter. I think he has like a bit of an accent too. It's like, it's my granddaughter. It's just like, dude, you're definitely like touching your granddaughter.
Yeah, at some point,
real
like,
weird.
He's sitting with all these Japanese whores, and he's asking one of them, like, come sit on Grandpa's lap.
Yeah, sit on Grandpa's lap. But to be honest, I don't know. If I was some old dude at a Japanese whorehouse, I would probably do the same thing.
Okay.
Sit on Grandpa's lap.
Funny thing, so to go, we don't know where, to the Ghostland to pick up his granddaughter, he gets a car, and Nicolaas Cage drives the car for a few meters, then make a drift, and then steps out of the car, and then he takes this woman bike, this Holland bike, and then he leaves the village on his bike that is too small for him. And then you have this weird samurai guy who takes the car and goes after Nicolaas Cage and force him to take the car because one thing we didn't say, the explosive have come down, and he has like 3 days to find the girl.
Well, actually, so he has 3 days to find her. But then, if he finds her, he needs her voice to speak into the device, which will then give him another 2 days. Which is, I don't know, like, I don't understand what the time limit is. Like, he just be like, hey, like, go find her. And if you don't, then...
Yeah.
I don't, well, I guess, okay, so you need some type of limit to be like, okay, like, you can't just run away. Like, you'll die. But, like, 3 days, you can at least be, like, a month or, I don't know.
No, but there's that weird thing he explains that the suit can sense if he's in the mood of trying to rescue her or if he gets angry or horny. Like, the suit's activating itself.
Oh, yeah, the suit can sense all that, but it also can't sense when his granddaughter, I'm doing quotation marks, is like speaking into it, but in like a raspy voice. It's just like, please speak into again. Nah, nah, nah. It's like, okay, so like you know how to like do that, but you can't understand voices.
But yeah, and back to the time thing, like, doesn't make any sense because it turns out that the Ghostland is a village that is next door to the village where he is.
I don't think like you just throw like a rock and that's another village. But they're like,
which explains why he was able to take the car.
Yeah,
the bike.
That's why I took the bike. He's like, I'm gonna enjoy my drive. This made like it makes sense. Like I was like, if you're like under those conditions, you might as well just you take pleasure in the little things. Like I'm gonna like enjoy the scenery. There's like a lot of trees here, some mountain sides. You might as well enjoy it.
And then when he arrives in the Ghostland, like you have all these dudes wearing toilet paper around them, like dancing, like welcoming him, and that's that gives a bit of a David Lynch vibe.
Okay. Well, if you say one thing, so like when he's going in there, then it's like when he kind of first meets the ghost, and like he tries to drive into them, and then it kind of cuts, and all of a sudden like it's like he crashed, and so then he gets picked up by these people, and he's getting like carried to the Ghostland, and then like when he kind of gets consciousness and gets up, it's like he's trying to like fight these people. Like the first lines he says, he's like, "I'll chop you with karate," or no, sorry, no, "I'll karate chop you." I'll chop you with karate. My bad. I will karate chop you. Which is, I don't know, just funny.
Yeah, and again, there's people with toilet paper.
Dude, in Cage,
and then you arrive in the Ghostland, and you have like this vibe of Waterworld, but without the water.
Like a dry world, but water. Like if Waterworld was on land,
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's like, so Cage, there's a lot of flashbacks, and then you kind of understand like what happened in the past through the
In the
flashbacks. Yeah, in the bank.
In the bank robbery with his friend Psycho.
Yeah.
Actually, he was just there to rob the bank, but his friend Psycho.
His friend Psycho apparently had other ideas. It was like, oh, maybe I'm just gonna shoot everybody. Gonna shoot this little kid. I mean, you would
Not
never.
the kid, like two guards. The kid.
No, he tried to shoot the kid first. Like that was his. That
Yeah,
was his
yeah,
first.
because
That was
Cage
his
stops
first.
him.
That was his first target. It's like this little kid is going down, and it's just like what his like. Why would Psycho do that? You know, you had a name like that, you would expect him to be more pleasant. Like I don't know.
Yeah, and then when they go out of the bank, like, even if you're in a Western Japanese village, you have a SWAT team waiting for them with all these Japanese dudes wearing helmets that are too big for them.
Oh yeah, they're like covering their eyes. It's like, where are they looking? Like, you couldn't like. It felt like when a kid wears like too big of like clothes or whatever, where they can't see.
And the funniest thing is when you look closely to the robbery, like they're stealing like $1 bills. Like,
Well, actually, though, I think with the conversion rate to yen, I think $1 is worth, I think, more. Maybe it's like $30 or 30 yen or something. I don't know. I think that logic holds up. I think, but one thing. So the way they play it is like, okay, you get a scene at the beginning from the bank, then he's in jail. So you think it's just like linear, like that just happened. Now he's in jail. Now he has to do his job. But it's actually like this freaking jail job or this bank job happened like, I don't know, 30 years ago or something. And so like part of his flashbacks, then like you get to realize like, oh wait a minute, this happened a long time ago.
yeah, because then he finds right away the girl he's looking for, like, because you have those weird mannequins moving and stuff, and it turns out that those mannequins are people inside mannequins.
Oh yeah. So in case you're wondering, there's moving mannequins that turn out to be people like wearing parts of mannequins.
Yeah, and then he looks under the mask of all the mannequins, and the third or fourth person is the girl he's looking for.
Yeah, obviously it's her.
It's her. And yeah, he finds her, he takes her with him, and then he finished to undress her from the mannequin's costume, and that's the moment I was not expecting at all. He gets a bit horny and stuff, and then the suits can detect that he's horny, and then one of his balls explodes.
Yeah. It blows up one of his balls, and then he holds his balls, and he's not happy about it, and then he passes out.
And then that's where you have the new flashback.
Yeah.
And then the flashback, he goes out of the bank, and then you see that with the SWAT team they have issues, and they're trying to run, and there's a mother with his daughter, and you realize that the daughter is actually the girl. So he knew the girl from before, and that's why you realize that the bank robbery was 20 years ago.
So going back to the whole like SWAT thing, so they're in this robbery. So they're SWAT, but all the police, they basically just had Berettas. They just had like little handguns.
Yeah.
But so they're shooting at him, but they're shooting at the crowd.
Psycho.
Oh yeah, and Psycho. Sorry, I forgot about Psycho. They shot him and Psycho. Psycho got shot. He didn't. But like they're shooting into a crowd, so like pedestrians got hit, and so we're assuming the mom died because the governor took this like little girl.
Yeah, you kind of see the governor walking in and just taking the little girl with him.
So the mom gets shot, she dies, and the girl, she gets shot in her leg, and and then the governor walks up. I'm pretty sure he pokes her in the gun wound. Is like, oh, and then then pats her on the head. It's like, okay, like
with his leather gloves.
Yeah, with his leather gloves. I was like, oh, does that hurt? And then he's like, you're gonna be my granddaughter now, which I think that's usually how you become a grandparent. I don't know. I've never been one, but I think that's how it happens.
And then we kind of go back to the Ghostland, and that's where they explain that the ghosts that they see, they are the effect of the clash between the truck with the nuclear waste.
Yeah, because I mean, it's been there's been studies that show that if you have nuclear active waste and it hits a truck, then it creates a nuclear explosion, and then everybody that's in it becomes ghosts. I mean, it's peer-reviewed science here, so we can't really argue it.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that made this movie, they did the research.
We'll post the link to the American study in the comments.
Oh, yeah. Well, all the links. It's not just Americans. I mean, I think a lot of people agree.
But yeah, and somehow the girl who was not able to talk because she was American before, she managed to talk again.
The ghost
and
stole
she talks
her power.
name. She says her name in the suit of Nicolaas Cage, and she saves him because it was already 3 days. You don't know how. And then Nicolaas Cage wants to launch some kind of revolution, and he starts with, oh yeah, because one thing we missed is also one of his arm exploded. Like,
Oh, yeah. So when they met the ghost and they're trying to leave, one of his arms exploded.
and so he makes his speech like to motivate people to go against the governor, and he's like, I have one arm and I have one testicle.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't for the rest because I was laughing too hard. Like. And yeah, you don't know what's happening next. It's really confusing. Actually, I was very confused.
Yeah, we weren't paying attention, maybe. But, like, no, guys, we were, but it was just confusing, wasn't it?
Like, because
But-
it's between the flashbacks.
Yeah, so flashbacks, fast forwards, blah blah, Ghostland. So basically, like, he like convinces them, like, okay, we're gonna rebel against these ghosts, and then they meet up with the ghosts, and it turns out, dude, guys, spoiler, the main ghost is his man Psycho, who actually turns out to be a pretty reasonable ghost. He's like,
he's like, oh, I remember you were cool when you were drinking 2 shots of whiskey. Like, I mean,
he's like, let us go by. He's like, well, I was like, I don't know about this, but I was like, well, you know, if I promise you, we'll kill the... No. He like, lets him go by if he promises that he'll kill the governor. So like, the governor is the real problem, like, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, like, you're supposed to be a psycho, and right now he's so reasonable. You're like, oh yeah, like, I'm a ghost now too, so like, you really don't really give a shit about anything. And you're like, no. If you go get the governor, we're just gonna disappear right now. And so they disappear. I was disappointed. I thought there was gonna be like a ghost fight.
Ghost fight, yeah.
But anyways, okay, so they disappear.
Ghost fight?
Ghost fight. So they disappear. Cage gets like the granddaughter. They go back to
the village.
The village, and then there's a big showdown. There's
yeah, like I want to make a point. Like you see again the French James Franco. I want to say like normally in foreign movies when you see French guys, they are like American people portraying French guys and they have a bad accent. But this time I think it's a real French guy because he talks without an accent. So.
Well, I'm glad that you clarified that it was a real Frenchman. Well, I hope so. But you know, actually, I'm pretty sure Japanese James Franco was really a Japanese James Franco.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about him but because he's useless.
But okay, so
no, Japanese James Franco is the guy who helps to.
He's kind of like
the mannequins.
Like the grave digger or something, you know. Like
it's confusing again.
Yeah.
Again, like there's some plot holes.
I mean, in a Ghostland version, he's kind of like a grave digger. Was like, oh, I'm gonna put you in your mannequin.
But back to our story. So Nicolaas Cage brings back the girl to the governor, but like the henchmen of the governors, they're pointing at Nicolaas Cage with their guns, and then you have the samurai henchmen with their swords. And yeah, then it gets a bit confusing. Swords. And then somehow the girl doesn't want to go back to her grandpa because...
Well, that's somehow because he's a horrible person. I'm pretty sure he rapes her. I think the implication, I mean, he's definitely it's not like...
Because of the implication.
The implication, yes.
And then you have one of the Japanese whores of the governor, like, that gets very crazy.
Hey,
and
she's not a Japanese whore, she's a Japanese lady. Don't call her a whore.
A Japanese lady, and then somehow she runs to a minigun, and she kills almost all the henchmen. And then you have a fighting scene starting.
She gets shot.
And she gets shot after she kills a bunch of people.
And she's always like, am I dying? But ironically, she never dies.
Yeah, because
I'm
she's
pretty-
drinking alcohol.
It's actually, I think it's like, yeah, it's true. It's like
Yeah.
the Pineapple Express, where it's just like, I've been shot like 20 times. Like, how am I still here? We're having breakfast. Because she keeps like, oh, like, I'm gonna die. It's like, no, you're still alive. Like, at the end, they have a flask, like, drinking some alcohol. And, like, I don't know if maybe just in that world, just alcohol, it just kills the infection and it also heals the wounds. I
don't know. But in that scene, like, so Nicolas Cage, who, by the way, in between has replaced his arm with a tin arm.
Oh, yeah, we forgot. Tin mannequin arm, but when you break it, katana sword blade.
So kind of a Evil Dead vibe here.
Yeah. Definitely Evil Dead. But yeah.
And then he fights, and somehow this guy was helping him. This samurai guy who was giving him back the car and stuff.
No. His name is Yasujiro.
Yeah.
Okay, say his name.
Yasujiro.
He was fighting.
So Yasujiro, who was kind of
Yasujiro.
helping him without helping him, who was kind of in the flashbacks but without being there. Like, he's avoiding the henchman to kill him, but he's trying to kill Nicolas Cage himself. Like,
I don't know.
Like, it's and then at the end, all the henchmen are dead either by Nicolas Cage or by this guy, and then at the end, it's just a duel between the two. And meanwhile, the girl was supposed to be rescued. She's fighting over henchmen's, like, killing them as well.
Actually, like, when did she become, like, a badass? All of a sudden, she, like, shoot
Yeah.
guns and she play, like, katanas and stuff. It's like, I thought you were the
Like
governor's
little girl.
granddaughter.
That's that's where I started to get. I mean, I was already lost, but I was completely lost.
Well,
But epic fight, lot of blood. Fun to watch. I mean, kind of a Kill Bill vibe.
I mean, it's like it. So if you're gonna have like just like a crazy gory like action film, it's the whole time blood, blah blah, blah, like bam 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 blood. With this, it was pretty like. It wasn't that much at the beginning, kind of like slow pace with the flashbacks this and that. Like it was pretty mellow, but then like you have like this whole kind of massive battle, but it's not like a Tarantino film where like there's like kind of like a big payoff because like the action scene is so cool. Like it was okay, and it's just like also Nick Cage, and it was actually him. Like he just looks like when him and Psycho are fighting, they just look so stiff. And like yeah, sure, at sometimes they would like cut like to stuntmen this and that, but like in general, like they're just looking so stiff, and I wasn't buying it, man. It's too,
Yeah, I mean
they're too stiff. I'm a simple man, I can't, a stiff person. I don't believe it.
Well, yeah, and so at the end, the only people remaining are the crazy Japanese woman who killed everyone, who was shot, but she's still alive. The girl Nicolas Cage saved, and Nicolas Cage, and they're all three of them
at a bus stop.
And they're walking to the bus stop, and they're drinking alcohol from this flask. Which could explain why they're still alive.
It's true.
And that's pretty much all of it.
Yeah, sorry.
So,
I thought,
lots of plot holes, but it's funny.
I thought we were at the end. That's why I was like talking.
Yeah, I mean that's where stop taking notes, but
I think the alcohol thing it holds up.
I mean, it works.
How many stories have you heard about people where like they're drunk and they just survived a crazy accident? Yeah. I mean, so that science.
Oh,
is there.
I did personally actually. No.
Oh, you want?
No.
Okay. These people aren't good enough for your cool story.
No, I mean, I've been hit by a car.
When you're drunk.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like. It was like
if
well, you know what? Yeah, see, the logic holds up. I've been in multiple bicycle accidents when I was drunk, and I always survived. And like, yeah, the doctor's like, maybe you should just not drive drunk on your bicycle, and you won't even crash. But that's not how it works.
Yeah, I mean, it happens when you walk. I mean, the car ran over me when I was walking.
That's like what cars should not do.
Yeah, cars should not be driving when people are drunk.
They should not run over people when they're drunk. I mean, if anything, but okay.
That should be illegal.
Okay, let's see that.
But yeah, to end up that movie, like I mean, it's funny to watch. You don't have to take it seriously. Maybe, I mean, I would not say it's a masterpiece, but still had a good time.
So the colors are cool. Like they definitely, you know, these aren't real colors. Like you're not gonna walk outside and look at some gumballs and be like, oh, these like greens and blues. Like no, like obviously they're using like hue, saturation, blah blah. But like it looks good, man. And I mean, maybe it's because of like, you know, my new TV, but you know, it looked pretty good.
I mean, definitely worth it to watch. It's a good TV.
And then okay, what the fuck else? Oh yeah, so the one thing, the town though, Sweet Peach.
Yeah.
Which just kind of because we all know Nicolaas Cage loves peaches, and so I wonder if that's maybe like a callback or something.
Yeah.
So it could be called.
Good one.
I don't know if anybody has any information about like Japanese culture, if like peaches are like also like a thing there, so it's just not related. It's more like I don't know.
Yeah, and the bank they're robbing the bluffer bank.
Yeah.
Written in French somehow, like.
Well, I mean. There's French James Franco, so obviously there's a tie in there. Oh yeah, one thing, fucking Psycho. First of all, like he was wearing eyeliner the whole time, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then also, did he not like? I mean, when he had his beanie or whatever on, like he looked like the lead singer of Rammstein, right? Like he looked like Till for sure, dude. Like Till Lindemann.
Yeah, and one question about in the plot that was because when he's wearing the suit he cannot take it off, so I was like he cannot pee, but then when he gets his ball blows up, there's a hole in the pants, so he can definitely pee.
Well, yeah. I mean, in theory, he can always pee. It just won't.
Yeah.
Be outside of the suit. Okay. Another thing though, I say though, the governor sucked. Like not like his character. I think the actor himself, like he was weak.
He was not charismatic enough.
He was just weak. The funniest thing was when he was just saying like the Japanese names, with it like horribly with his accent, like Yasuo Joe. Oh no, sorry. Yasujiro! Or he'd be like, Sushi-chan!
Yeah.
Like, that was probably the best part of his performance.
Yeah, and he gets killed by the girl, by his granddaughter. Like, in the
guys, quotations. We're talking about. You know, whenever we say granddaughter, there's quotations. You know, there's no blood related. It's just his granddaughter quotations. Yeah. But also, one thing I'm thinking, so, in this whole bank scene, there is a little boy with gumdrops. And dude, he totally gets killed. Like, they totally like massacre.
And he keeps coming back in the flashbacks and as a ghost, like that. And then Nicolaas Cage is running after him at some points in the. It's never. So never explained why.
So if you guys are wondering though, there is a little boy that gets murdered in this, and
Yeah, so it's not a movie for little boys.
It's true. Little boys should not watch this movie. Okay, let's see. So what else we got going?
I think that's pretty much.
Let me read my notes. Okay, dude. Okay. Little executed. Oh, okay. One thing, well, I already talked about how shitty, like how they looked old, but also like when Psycho and Cage were fighting, I was just like, fuck, these old guys fighting. It looks so bad.
Yeah, you see, he cannot move that well.
Yeah.
Like he was moving in Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting old.
I guess we will not keep our listener hanging. Or we can cut this.
Yeah, I can cut it, dude. At least let me look through my fucking notes, dude.
I've been through all my notes. We've just been taking on.
Oh yeah. God, can I poke your bullet? Oh, okay. Okay, I think we're done.
So, thank you for listening. That was it. That was our comments and review about Prisoners of the Ghostland. Personally, I had a good time, but I will not say it's a must-see. But I mean, funny.
I think the reviews were lies because I feel like it was like really well reviewed.
No, man. Like,
It wasn't?
Rotten Tomatoes 68%.
Oh, dude, I mean, that's actually pretty good.
IMDb 6 out of 10 or something.
Dude, I mean, that's basically 68%. I mean, dude, that's actually not bad. In my head though, I thought he had 2 bangers this year. I thought Pig and Prisoners Ghostland are both bangers, but they're. Well, I'm not gonna belittle Pig, but in my head they were not bangers. And
Yeah. I mean, I had more fun watching Willy's Wonderland.
really,
I guess.
huh? I don't know. Between this and Willy's Wonderland, I would.
But I guess that's a topic for this podcast.
Dude, for our paid subscription, just go to Patreon.
Yeah, subscribe.
Yeah, just sign up,
Hit
subscribe to
this like
Patreon,
button.
hit the like button, and you get all ad free.
Love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Adios.